Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. You can see I'm a little smaller in here, and also I made my logo a little smaller. Since the camera is so far away, I don't want to have either of these placements, me in this little box down here, and then also, no, that way, my logo up in the corner. I don't want them to block anything that might happen in the performance. So, hi, Matt. There's Matt Prue down there. Anyway, this is, let's see, Sam Houston. It looks like Army JROTC, their 2023 performance. So I've queued it up to where it's just before the beginning. So you can see pretty pretty standard setup as far as just falling in block formation, but an extended block formation. The commander is in the center, which good placement. It sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see what happens with this placement. Hopefully they've designed something that creates prominence for the commander to report in. Side steps, crossover side steps. It's called a crab step. Oh, that was great. I've got to see that again. Crab steps. Yes, crab steps. All right, so bear with me because I... and then into the high knee slap step. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. I'm watching the transition from the side step. Okay, excellent work there. That was great. Now notice this entrance. It's still a type of L entrance, but it's not just the up and over. It's a thought process here that takes the team in the L shape ish, but it's a lot more creative. Excellent. This is the drill there was almost like a Jones sequence. And then we have a semi-layered effect. So here, and there's Matt recording. So here what I see is, you see so the commander, we said, is in the middle, but then on the outside of the commander, the two drill team members are kneeling. They're just like the first squad, which is great because this frames really well. It frames the commander while creating a backdrop of the three in the third rank here. Very nicely done. That's great. Really well done. All right, so consider your degrees here. 90 degrees, or is it less? So right here, this cadet has less than 90 degrees. 90 degrees here. Look at the foot placement here. Look at the foot placement here. Rifles seem to be applied consistently. Hand position, also the angle, the rotation as well, the rotation out with sling forward. So chrome domes are an added benefit. They're authorized for Army JROTC as long as they're not purchased with government funds. So not a problem there. I would suggest a different color sling for the performance. You have the yellow stripe on the trouser leg. I'd go with the same color, honestly. It would help the rifles pop out just a bit more. The sling and the rifle tend to blend together, and it just it doesn't help the visual dynamics. Just having this plain rifle. Again, for regulation drill, for color guard, absolutely go with everything standardized as far as the regs are concerned. No flashy stuff, no nothing. I don't even... I know that your JROTCs are authorized this with the tape and the colored gloves and all that. I don't like it, honestly. And that's just my personal preference. But for exhibition drill, go out and do more. Honestly, do more. That was a really good entrance team, honestly. That just set the stage for the rest of the performance. Now, can you keep the rest of the performance at that high integrated level? A little bit of A-B drill there, and it works. So do the side steps there with the crab step. Well done. Oh, man. Little bit of phasing there with the rifle movement, but still. So why stop this long? So the side spin moving away from the audience is probably not going to be your best application of that movement. And now you're getting into just flanks staying in your box formation. So let's go back just a bit. You can see here it does work fairly well. Although it looks like the team is angling off just a bit, not... So why, again, with the box and boy, the basic commands kind of detract from the performance. Nice ripple line through there, and it worked well as far as the having that within the whole visual range of the audience. Same with the marching backwards, with the different ranks doing different things at different times. We can call that the Taiwan march with the straight arm up, since the guard's there. And then why pause here? Now that is what works. When the audience can see plainly everything that's going on. Now, marching at an angle is really tough, and I get that. And here's so here's my cursor. All right, so we have first squad leader, second, third. Now, second and third, they're staying in line. Staying in line here in the second rank, getting a little bit ahead here, but the spacing is also quite poor here. But here, this is very natural when marching at an angle like that. We're used to, I've done this before, so we're used to marching like this. Even at an angle, we're used to marching like this. But when you turn like this, we're used to either doing this or this, because this just doesn't seem to make sense. Keeping the center line centered or aligned, that can be difficult, and you need a lot of practice for that. And you see how that was better alignment. So the alignment, let's go back here. The alignment in this direction doesn't work very well at all. But we see here, after the transition, now it's starting to look much better. So there, and then we can see this cadet here also had a little bit of trouble coming on the other oblique. now. Military calls it oblique, but it's really pronounced oblique. Anyway, so marching at the oblique, marching at that 45-degree angle, either direction, can be very difficult, and it takes time to learn that and adjust your brain to align better. So that really didn't work all that well, although that was a great placement of both of the angles. Stopping for a few seconds, that doesn't work. Honestly, it's not effective at all. It's not that you could adjust your stop. It's just stops don't work. They're not part. They're not a good part of the performance. So, and that when it comes to soloists, some will stop for a little while, catch their breath, and then go into something really major. I can understand that. However, for a truly flow-based performance, both flow horizontal and vertical, you need to not take that breather. So do your performance when you're practicing back to back. Get that stamina. So this is a little more intricate rifle work, and you're facing away from your audience. So again, why stop? That just doesn't really make any sense. Alignment isn't all that great. The spacing works well, but then again, is it? That really didn't seem to work well at all. That step off. I get it. It was an every count step off there, a very quick ripple. It didn't seem to work well at all. So going back to that, let's go back to that real quick. There, this step. I get it. So now that I've watched it a couple times, I understand what you're trying to do. But with the alignment as off as it is, then it just doesn't. There's a slight alignment issue there. Without an accent on that first step, then it looks like you're completely out of step, completely gone. So what I would suggest is a stomp on the first step so that you can make that, you can communicate to your audience and to the judges as well that, yes, we mean to do this. It's a step, and then a halt a couple steps later. And then, because that's very clear communication, you don't have to figure it out. And what can be negative for a performance like this, exhibition drill performance, is to have the audience figure something out. Now, you can leave the audience with a "how did they do that" type of thing. That's okay, but this really isn't. That's muddy communication. It's blocked communication, even, if you want to call it that. So having that stomp, I think, would be much more clear. Stomp, step, halt. You know, how many ever steps you wanted it to be in between. And I like the step out and then back. That really works well. But you can see that there is an issue with the alignment. And I so appreciate the elevated camera angle. It's great. It's very helpful for judging. So technique here, since you're marching, since you're performing so slowly, well, I'll keep this going. Since you're performing so slowly, technique has to be exact. So weaving back and forth, okay. But then again, here, we'll go back and watch that again. Here, see the phasing in the feet? and the different technique. Some feet raising quite high, other feet not. So especially with that stripe down the trouser leg. Now that was good. Coming together with a stomp there, that really worked well. Kind of put an exclamation point at the end of the double pass through. But the trouser leg stripe really highlights everything. It's similar to marching in white shoes. It shows every little flaw, every little mistake. That was a very thoughtful design from the block formation leading into the company front. That worked very well. Good ripple work back and forth. The butt slams didn't, they weren't exactly on. And then again, why the pause? I appreciate this. Odd setup, but it looks great. Odd meaning unusual, not usual. So the tosses there, you've got to toss 100%, 100%. You have to watch your rifle 100%. See, it looks like it's happening so quickly, and it looks like all four of the cadets here, they're a little bit concerned, as you should be, with the rifle coming at them. Sure, but as long as all four of you concentrate 100% on exactly what you're doing, rifle coming off the shoulder, coming forward, toss, as soon as it leaves your hand, then you catch with the other hand, 100% concentration on your rifle until it leaves your hand, 100% concentration on the rifle coming towards you. So your report in and out, Commander, ROTC. It's a bit robotic, but also very halted way of speaking. So, and I get it, you're reporting in. It's more like a command voice, and I get that. However, ROTC, it should just flow out. The rest of the words also flow out. It sounds like I'd have to get up a little closer here to hear exactly what you're saying, but it doesn't offer any more prestige for the performance just by breaking down those four letters and putting space in between them. Nice spinning through. That was excellent. So look at your angles here. So there's one rifle that's completely vertical. All the others, excuse me, all the others have a slight angle. So the whole of I want to watch that spin again. That was just great. With everybody moving around, everybody spinning, that's perfect. That is great. Really works well. Excellent design there, and the execution was very well done. So you're at carry, but so look at the variation of technique for the team members. Some have the rifle out in front of them, some have the rifle right next to right next to their thigh with the rifle pointing straight down, that's the carry technique. You can do anything you want. If you want everybody to have it at a slight angle in front, fine, do that. But it's variation of technique there that doesn't work. It's so much less effective when you have that. And I would suggest that you perform to here, then go to carry, and then come off. Although that was a nice performance, honestly. It really was a well thought of performance. Mostly, now there are some issues in there that I identified, especially the pauses. The pauses are just it's like being on air on the radio, and you have dead airspace. Nobody wants dead air. If you have dead air, then people immediately change the channel for something to listen to, and we don't want that. And so you can turn off your audience just like that. Now, of course, you've got parents and friends and all that watching you, and I get that. They're not going to turn you off immediately, but you really have to think of your whole audience and what the performance is communicating to them. So why the pause? Why doing some other things? But really, that was a creative, inventive performance in some parts, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I hope my words have been helpful.